Hello, people. Welcome back. Yeah, I have another gist. I have another gist. So this day I was going to London, Wandsworth town to be specific, because London is a very very big town. It's so big. Like if you're in London, you don't even know your neighboring town. It's hard for you to know the neighboring town within that same London. It's very hard. So I was going to London Wandsworth town to get my German visa, Schengen visa, because I intended traveling to Nigeria and I wanted to use the German the routes. That's Schengen route. I wanted to get a transit flight, just so I don't have to pay direct flight because it was really expensive. So I had to get on the train that morning, and it was really cold and sort of drizzling. And I was reading my book, She Thinks Like a Boss, very amazing book, writing as well, and also trying to do some work on my laptop. It was a long journey. It was the longest journey I'd ever taken. It was 6 hours or something like that, and it took a while before we were able to get there. So I don't know, but my decision to take the Schengen visa was purely based on the fact that there was no money. It's not like I wanted to go and get to know Schengen, get to know how beautiful the town is, how beautiful Germany is, and all of that. It was just the money thing, my sister, my brother. There was no money. It was really, really cheaper. To and fro. The to and fro flight was costing me £488 or so. So that was like cheap compared to other flights that you have to book that cost £1,000 plus £1,200 for British Airways and all that. So even when I was booking like three months to the time I was supposed to travel, it was still really expensive. So that was why I had to get a transit visa. So I was at the train station. I've gotten to London at this point, London King Cross, St. Pancras, and I had to go get a connecting train rather. I had to get a connecting train to the Vauxhall town before I would get to Wandsworth town as well. So we're here. Everywhere is so busy, like you could literally step on somebody like at this point. So this St. Pancras, I'm going to use the underground station now to get a tube like that will take me to Vauxhall, because you have to take a tube. And one thing about this tube, as some of you might know, there is no network in it. It's the most frustrating thing ever. Like, it's so frustrating for me that anytime I'm going there, I'm like scared. How long is it going to take me? And funny thing is, it's really, really fast. It takes like 5-10 minutes within that tube to go. They are really fast. They come every 5 minutes, and when you're inside, boom, boom, you're almost where you're going to within the next 10 minutes. Like, you get to where you're going to within the next 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's really, really fast. So the period of no network is really short, but it's really annoying. Like, I can't stay without my phone for 2 seconds. I just can't. It's really bad. I took like how many things now? I took like 4 trains that day. I'll be 5. Yeah, I think 4 or 5. So I decided to get coffee anyways to take me through the tube, because it's a frustrating place to be in.
The sugar is free.
I like sugar.
It's fine, the
So I got to Wandsworth town finally, which was the final destination, and I had to take a bus to the TLA center, and I got there. It was beautiful. This was just around the surrounding area, and then got inside, and I had to go to the customer service, and I was asked to submit my document, get a number, and then I was told that I'll be taking a passport picture later on, because you can't use a passport picture, a passport photograph that is like more than 3 months old, and my own that I took in Nigeria is like 1 year old now. So I had to get another one, get my documents printed out, because I needed a hard copy as well of the documents I'll be submitting. So I had to print them out. The forms that I filled in, the application form, and my bank statement and all of that had to be printed out as well. And this was like just afterwards anyways, like after I'd done my biometrics, because I couldn't make a recording while I was doing my biometrics, but this was after I've done my biometrics. So basically just sit in the queue, wait for when your name would come or pop up on the screen, just like the same way it's done in Nigeria. When you're coming to the UK and you have to do your visa, you have to wait on the queue, start looking at the screen for when your number pops up on the screen, and then you go to the room, it asks you to go into like the room number that is showing on the screen alongside your number. So go there, and then you do your biometrics, submit your documents, pay your fee. So I paid £89 or so. I paid £89, for the visa, the airport transit visa. So I applied for an airport transit visa, and they sent me an email later on that I can't use an airport transit because it was a to and fro flight, like to and fro. So it's no longer seen as a transit visa. I had to apply for a tourist visa. So they changed it. They converted it to a tourist visa for me, and that was what I paid for, £89, just so I could be able to go and come back, and like through the Schengen area as well. So submitted my document, and they asked me to wait and get a confirmation of when I would be expecting my visa to be released onto me. And it actually came within was it not 3 to 5 days? 3 to 5 working days. It was so fast. It was really, really fast. Their service is so amazing. It was so fast. I was actually surprised. I was so surprised. And I applied for courier service, so they had my passport sent to me after it was ready. And yep. Yep. One thing you should know about this flight of a thing anyways is the fact that the huge amount you're paying for the flight is not actually the money for the flight. It's not the airline that is charging you that huge amount. It's tax. It's the tax money. It's the tax amount that is actually bigger than the amount for the flight. The flights might just cost you £20. The flight total money might just be £20, £50, but then the tax on it will be like 800 and something pounds, making it a whole lot of money, and you think you're paying so much for flight. I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it's so confusing that way. It's really getting that down. I was so crying that day when I saw flights £1,200 to and fro. Like, who get that money now? Which day they bought me that is just a little girl. It was really annoying though. It was really annoying. I had to go through this route of small money. How much did I spend in total now? So my to and fro flight cost me £488. My visa cost me £89. Okay, let's say the transport cost me, the train I had to take, roughly £50. Yeah. Okay, how much is that in total? I'm not sure it's gotten up to £600 yet that I have to pay instead of paying £1,200. Okay, yes, I did do travel health insurance as well, because they needed that to be submitted to a travel health insurance for the tourist visa, and that cost like £20 or £30, £34. Yeah, £34. Yeah, I know all this little money, but at the end of the day, it's still not up to £600 if you calculate it, or maybe £600, just £600. Yeah, roughly £600, but definitely not up to £1,200 that I would have paid for British Airways if I was going through a straight direct flight, like without stopping. I know one day I'm going to get to the level where I have to go through direct flight and not have to consider the money when I become a rich man wife, like apply for the job of a rich man wife, and I'm doing the job, and I don't have to look at the pocket or look at where the money is coming from before spending. Inshallah. Amen, somebody. So I was just when I was finished, I had to go home, go outside, and it was getting a bit darker. If you notice, like the weather was not so bright anymore because I know it takes time. It takes like 1 till 9 p.m. before it finally gets dark, but the weather was kind of changing and I had a long journey to take to get home, like 6 hours more to get home, because this place was very far from my city. It was so far from my city. And the river, I was like glad seeing it. I don't know why. I was just glad. I love rivers a lot. I love water. I'm not a water child though. So yeah, I had to go back home. At some point, I had a low battery, and I was so sad. Like, my power bank was no longer, like, I used it. It was just for 2 minutes and it was off. I was like, what? Like 2 minutes just went off. And I didn't come with the charger that I could plug to the train this thing directly, because the trains, they do have charging ports, but my charger was not able to go through it. So I had to just manage myself for the 6 hours and finally go home. It was night because 6 hours is not a child's play now, and I used the whole day to travel. And yeah, I went to my house and stayed peacefully to wait for it was drizzling at this point, like actually raining now, like there's more than a drizzle. And trekked back home and waited patiently, which my passport finally came 5 days afterwards. Like I said, was it 5 days or 3 days? It came 3 days after I came back from there. Like, it was really fast. It was so fast. And I really applaud their service. They're doing well. They are doing so well. Yeah, that was it. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for sticking around. And I hope to see you next time. Don't forget to at least just like. My mouth is tiring me. I need to drink water now. Like, share, subscribe. Oh, screw, no powder. Subscribe, please.